I'm talking to you, the one playing tetherball.
Foursquare. If I win, you show me it.
And the characterizations in this episode, like everybody is like fully developed at this point, and they're showing you one last hurrah of who they are, who they are personified to be, and this is like the grand example of that.
Kramer's like, how do I look, Jack? He's like, Kramer, you look good. Look honest. Like you got purpose.
You always do good for yourself.
Respectable.
Happened in the 90s.
Outside of the main four on Seinfeld, who are your favorite characters?
I mean, Jackie Childs has to be up there. He's hilarious. Newman up there. I'm kind of like a Philistine with Seinfeld. I only know the bangers, but I like the Puerto Rican guy and his gay lover too. I really enjoy them. We just
the homo thugs.
Yeah, sweet thugs. And I mean also the parents.
Both
the
of them?
Costanzas, I mean the Costanzas for me are the standout. I like Morty Seinfeld, but I'm a Costanza-holic, Steve.
Same. His parents were the best. Of course, Jackie Childs. Putty. I'm a fan of Putty. Hey, babe.
Okay. I'm a fan of that actor too, just in general. And also, I mean, Terry Hatcher and the Bazooms, Steve.
That's the thing about this show, man. Jerry's had a gazillion girlfriends, man. I think he's had more girlfriends than Will has in Fresh Prince.
And they're all top notch, Steve. It's a list of soon to be mainstream hotties.
Jerry had his pick of some nice ones.
In the show. Let's keep it in the show, Steve.
I'm talking to you, the one playing tetherball.
Foursquare. If I win, you show me it.
Let's play hide and go and get it. Uncle Leo too. Like I don't know.
Uncle Leo is great. You sound off on the message boards. Who's your favorite Seinfeld not main character?
We want to know.
Jackie Childs. Is it sad guy? Is it what's the guy they hate, Steve? What's that one guy?
Banya?
Yeah, Banya, dude.
Best, Jerry. The best.
Yeah, Banya's dope too. I like that. But that's what it's all about, Steve. The community. So sound off. I don't know about Seinfeld compared to Steve, and I bet you guys know way more than me. So I want to know. Educate me. Tell me.
Can't forget about the soup Nazi.
That feels hack to say, but that's for sure.
The little man, Kramer's little buddy.
Yeah, that guy's a legend anyway. That guy's a little person legend, Steve. That dude.
Little person legend.
Yeah. LPL.
And the nominees are
the only four we know.
Right. And Vern Troyer. Well, he's dead. Well, we ran out of people.
Yeah, they're running out, Steve. Are they refilling that? The reservoir of little people actors? Because I feel like we've had the same ones for decades. And what happens when Willow and the black dude
Tony Cox?
Yeah, what happens when we lose all these guys? Because we're not refilling the talent pool.
Oh man, there's a little person factory. They have them on deck.
I'll tell you one thing. Don't go to Virginia and fuck around, because I remember going to get some wings one time at the sports bar, and one of the most yoked human beings I've ever seen showed up, but he was 3 foot. Just jacked solid, Steve. What's the muscle waiting to just go at you? So
bust their kneecaps?
Probably. He could collapse my knee for sure. Definitely bench press me. Shout out to that guy. It was impressive.
I wouldn't have been scared. Roundhouse kick his little ass. This is Steve G and Matt G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your Bigfoot pizzas from Little Caesars and your blue posters of Weezer. Because Jerry was a race car driver. He drove so goddamn fast. He never did wear no checkered flags, but it never did come in last. Jerry was a race car driver. He said El Saab #1. With a Bo Seaver sticker on his 442, he'd light him up just for fun.
Mm. Fat Creek Kid critique of what you just said, Steve. The Bigfoot pizza was not from Little Caesars, but it was good wordplay, so I'll allow that.
Bigfoot pizzas. I'll edit Little Caesars out. But
Fat
shout
Kid
out to them.
critique. You don't edit that, Steve. That was magic. I said I'd allow it. I'm just saying, Fat Kid critique. You got to allow that.
Yeah.
It's called constructive criticism, Steve.
And I'm taking it. I can take it. Pause.
Okay. Well, good to know.
I feel like you get actually offended when I do little stuff like that.
I do get offended. I'm offended right now.
You're such a Leo.
I'm gonna go.
You're such a Leo.
Don't
tell me shit.
I don't want to hear nothing about how I act. It's perfect, Steve.
Are you serious? You serious right now? I will kill you. You tell me anything. Today, my friend, we're talking all things May 14th in the 90s. Let's get it on. Starting off in 1991, Ice-T would release OG Original Gangsta, Hustler.
I'm a fan of Ice-T, the man. The music I was not big into. It's not my favorite album, but I'm into it.
This is a 5-star classic, a 5-micer. Ice-T, his mic skills are understated. Most Californian rappers have the best flow. He's an original gangster. He's like one of the OGs of this genre.
For sure. And then he does have all that West Coast sort of funky. I mean, I think even one of the beats has George Clinton's on it. They sample one of his songs.
Bitches too.
Bitches. Like I said, I kind of came into it late. I wasn't digging in deep to the historical stuff. When this came out, I was 7. And I never really dipped into Ice-T other than obviously the movies. I was more at Ice, like I said, the guy. Because he was either in a cool movie like New Jack City or Pimps Up, Hose Down or some comedy.
Player Hateth Ball.
Exactly. Like all that stuff. But shout out to Ice-T, man. Like, shit. He killed this.
Next person to say something while I'm talking is getting shot. Believe that.
Body Count is my favorite song off this album, Steve.
Yeah. I really feel like he's one of the coolest people ever. Like you said, you're a fan of the actual person.
He's a pimp, Steve. I mean, he literally is. I mean, he's living the best life. What has Ice-T not done? He's been a bad guy. He's been a good guy. He's been on the top of the rap charts. He's a cop and stuff in law. I mean, he has like a TV career that's longer than most regular actors.
It's a homicide investigation. On that same day in 1991, Primus would release Sailing the Seas of Cheese.
The song you sang was like literally my first introduction to Primus. That Jerry was a race car driver, and
Tony Hawk. Is that what it is?
Probably. But I had a cool friend, Matt Sparks, who was into cool stuff. He was like one of my first cool friends that introduced me to music that wasn't just like oh, listen to this Oasis song, like some stuff like that in Perrysburg. So yeah, I remember listening to this a lot with him. And I mean, obviously, Primus, the South Park Connection. I mean, they're cooler than just their music. They're cool as hell and one of a kind. Weird. If you ever saw their videos, they didn't have a lot of them, but they were weird. And the music's like, I don't know, it's hard to even like describe other than just its own thing. It's great.
It's like a rock, jazzy-ish funk fusion. Les Claypool is in my top 5 bassists of all time, man. You know, just to play the way he plays, the double slap, I think he pulls out 5-string, 6-string bass. It's crazy. And on top of that, you're able to sing.
Yeah.
While you're doing all that, bro.
Singing these crazy songs too. Like the content of the songs are crazy as hell. It's trippy. I'd love to like take some shrooms and go see a Primus concert. That's got to be pretty cool, Steve.
I actually went. I wasn't on shrooms, but like they opened up for Tool back in 2016.
Oh, damn. That's
probably a great show. Oh man, like the crowd interaction, not just Les Claypool, but the other musicians, the guitarist and the drummer on that double bass, man. Les on that bass.
Did they sing the South Park song, Steve?
They did not.
Okay.
They-
I was just wondering.
And on that same day in 1991, Chub Rock would release The One.
One of the funniest covers to an album ever, too, Steve.
Very early 90s.
He looks like very uncomfortable in the shot. He's the Chubster. Literally, that's one of the songs. My favorite song on this, The Big Man, Steve. I think it was a single. Not a huge Chub Rock fan. I feel like he falls into the same realm that Sir Mix-a-Lot falls into for me. And Sir Mix-a-Lot to me is like, that's my all time for this kind of rap. So I'm a Seattle guy, Steve.
Sir Mix-a-Lot actually had fans, though. I'm one of them. Chub Rock has no fans. The only song that I like or care for is Treat 'Em Right, because that was a heavily rotated song on all the radio stations.
Here's the thing, Chub Rock, I've heard that name. Is
Same.
he a joke? Is it?
It's because of that song, bro. It's only because of that song. I didn't even make it through the whole album because what I'm not about to do is listen to over an hour of Chub rap. Chub rap.
I got through The Big Man, which The Big Man's good, Steve. But after that, I was just like, all right, I got to clean my grill. So I'm going to turn this off.
Yeah, I got to open up a bottle of soda. I'll see you later, Chub Rock. But shout out to Treat 'Em Right, though. 1993, Carnosaur premieres. A genetically manipulated and very hungry dinosaur escapes from a bioengineering company and wreaks havoc on the local desert town. A security guard and a girl environmentalist try to stop both it and the company's doomsday bioweapon. Directed by Adam Simon, starring Diane Ladd, Raphael Sbarge, Jennifer Runyon, Harrison Page, Ned Bellamy, and Clint Howard.
And Clint Howard, Steve. That's what brings you to the show right there. This was produced by Roger Corman, so he didn't direct it, but Roger Corman, the King of the Bee movie, it was released alongside Jurassic Park, like of the same year at least. So I feel like you remember like in the early 2000s, there was like companies making generic movies based on big movies coming out, like Transformers is coming out. Let's make Transmorphers.
Yeah.
I feel like this almost is like that in a way. It's not a good movie. It makes no sense. The dinosaur part of it's great. It's all physical stuff. There's no actual like CG in this, which you can tell a lot of the times, but I just thought it was hilarious. And when you're like making low budget movies, there's a point in this where like dinosaurs, they're laying eggs, and that's how dinosaurs are made. And then at some point, people are giving birth to dinosaurs. So that's how it's happening. And then they start just pushing out alien style of people's chests.
So is it implied that the chicks were having sex with the carnivore?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like a Jesus dinosaur thing where some like the dinosaurs are just miracle inseminating women, but yeah, I mean, at one point, a chick gives birth to a dinosaur, which I loved. And really, to me, this is Clint Howard at its best. He's a dick in it. He's hilarious in it. And he brings the quality of the movie up of 0.5% to 10% quality, Steve. Me and my buddies used to rent this a lot at Video Connection because it was always available. It had a very easily recognizable cover, and it's hilarious.
And it's stupid.
It is dumb as hell. There's a scene with strobe lights and a dinosaur where it looks like the dinosaur's like in a rave almost. It's great. It's fantastic. And honestly, the other thing that's in its favor, I think it's less than an hour and 10 minutes. So you're in and out, Steve.
Yeah, they know better. And then on that same day in 93, Posse premieres. In 1898, Cuba, 5 Buffalo soldiers find a gold cache. Is it cash or cache?
I would say cash, but I think it's either or. It's tomato.
Yeah, they find a gold cache, desert, and return to America, where they help defend a black town from the KKK. Directed by Mario Van Peebles, starring Mario Van Peebles, Stephen Baldwin, Richard Gant, Richard Jordan, Big Daddy Kane, Charles Lane, Tiny Lister, Tone Loc, Sally Richardson, Blair Underwood, Robert Hooks, Reginald Vell Johnson, Pam Grier, and Billy Zane.
Pam Grier and Billy Zane in the same movie, Steve. Win.
And Sally Richardson, some beautiful cocoa butter titties.
And those little Native American outfits she has on in it. She looks hot. It's filled with stars. It's good quality. It's a good action movie. And in terms of especially 90s westerns, Tombstone's top. And then it's, to me, I think Posse's better than Young Guns.
Oh yeah,
But that's the three. That's it for me, Steve.
and it's got Sally Richardson's titties. I don't know if I said that.
Yeah, you did. I mean, it's a nice little sex scene in there. Plus, it's just got Pam Grier being a legend, still looking hot, Steve. Still looking fantastic.
Always.
Isn't she like a madam in it?
I don't know what her role was fully, man. I was just glad to see her.
Yeah, but Billy Zane just killing it as the villain. He's a shitty Southern soldier who's then gets his eye shot out, is rocking like an eye patch for part of the movie, which I love. But you know me and Billy Zane, Steve.
All aboard.
I'm
Zane train.
Take me to Zanetown, Steve. Pause.
Zane. And apparently Faison Love and Snoop Dogg were in the movie. I didn't clock that.
No. After Tiny Zeus Lister punches a horse to death, that was great.
What horse?
Also, Mario Van Peebles' character, Jesse Waters, there's a point in this movie where he's got like 6 shooters, Steve. He never runs out of bullets. He's just like, it just never stops.
You know what kind of gun that is?
No, it's a fucking magic gun because it never runs out of bullets.
It's I wrote the fucking screenplay and whatever gun I have with as many bullets as I want.
I always love in westerns that move. You don't want to pull the trigger. You gotta. Also, Stephen Baldwin. I gotta give him a quick shout out because I feel like that guy's a joke now. We forget Stephen Baldwin was actually entertaining at one point. He's kind of fun in this. He's kind of a weird wild card psycho, kind of in a way, but you know, he saves MVP a couple of times.
He's cool with the blacks. Well, I appreciate you. You get a seat at the cookout until we leave the 90s. I feel like he's a casualty of the 90s. There were people who were cool, and then once the turn of the century, it was like,
he got on that Jesus grift early, Steve. Once the movie roles stop, that's the next step for any white celebrity. You either start selling insurance or something, or you get right into the Jesus grift and just really just take that money into the afterlife.
There's always a dick to suck somewhere in Hollywood. And also, man, our good friend Reginald Vell Johnson, you know, he gives us shout outs on Facebook, and it's always good to see him in other roles outside of Carl Winslow, man. So salute to that man.
Hell yeah, dude.
You know, Reginald, man, he's an everyday man.
He's a good man, Steve. I love that. I love having an actual 90s legend as a fan. It gives us a little credibility, I feel like.
He represents us. He is you. He is me. He is we.
I am Reginald Vell Johnson.
I am Reginald Vell Johnson. By the way, follow his page, Reginald Vell Johnson.
That guy's a good dude.
Great, man.
The other day, man. It was pretty awesome.
1995. WWF is airing In Your House premiere from the Onondaga County Onondaga County Memorial in Syracuse, New York.
Say what? Onga Donga, Steve. I think you got played on that. I think that's fake.
Well, now it's called the Upstate Medical University Arena. I should have went with that one.
Who were the ad wizards who came up with that?
This is the first one, man. And this was a cost-cutting procedure as well as keeping up with the Joneses, because as WCW would kick up the gear in releasing their pay-per-views just about every month, you know, WWF, they just had their big 4 at the time. So it's like, all right, now we have to up the ante and put out something every month. And this was also available for $14.95, whereas their other feature pay-per-views were almost like $30, maybe $40.
$40, dude. I feel like they were $99.99. I feel like all pay-per-views were like $100.
No, not that much, man. I wouldn't have got as many. Maybe in the later 90s, but yeah, 95, In Your Houses were $14.95, and it's just weird now seeing how they're just money crazy. Like you have to pay $1,000 for the nosebleeds at one of these events.
I gotta get paid, Steve.
What I found interesting about this, they had an actual sweepstakes to win a house. The family that won the house, it went to a kid, like a 12-year-old kid or something like that. And the family, they would end up selling the house months later, and they sold it for more than what Vince bought it for.
Oh,
They
yeah.
and they used that money for the kids' education.
I thought you were going to say $1 Million Man came in and swatted the keys out of his hand and then just laughed and took it.
That was the next house.
That's great. I mean, hey, man, that's good. That's good swindling right there. I love that. And they won the house. That's their house, Steve.
That's
Who's Vince to say anything? He'd
in
respect it,
your
probably.
in your house.
I gave you that house.
You ungrateful son of a bitch.
I didn't. These ones, I got to be honest with you. I think I was full WCW at this point, and I was like, I wasn't having this. I definitely never purchased an In Your House.
You don't want to hear Doc Hendricks with Vince McMahon doing the commentary?
Who doesn't like a nice Doc Hendricks?
Yeah. Some Michael P.S. Hayes, man. And in 1997, ABC would air the final episode of Coach. 9 seasons, 200 episodes, Matt.
It's crazy. It doesn't feel like it went that long, like into that far into the 90s.
Dude, it started in the 80s. I want to say it started in 89. And 200 episodes, man. Not too many sitcoms can say that.
Dude, I feel like my grandma Doris Shunk, rest in peace, used to love her some Craig T. Nelson, Steve. We used to watch this constantly. Because they got it, I think it was in syndication while it was still on. Like it would come on USA or something. You could actually just keep watching reruns.
Yeah, well, there's like a 3-season or 4-season rule, whatever, where like by the time a show hits their 3rd or 4th season, that's when the syndication can start.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Doris loved it, which made me a huge fan. Dauber, I was a huge Van Dyke fan myself. Steve Jerry, he was what brought me to the show. To be honest,
I like the whole collective, man, and they ended up on a heartwarming note because, as you know, Craig T. Nelson is the coach of an NFL team, and Doris Angela Moner, she gives him an offer for an extension. He tells her that, like, I have other offers, so I have to think about it. And they go back to Minnesota, and as they're thinking about it, the whole crew, him, Luther, Dauber, he realizes that, man, I got to go where my heart is. And he ends up going back to Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Millions of dollars turned down.
Coach. Let's talk about this, bud.
Hey, man.
Them Beavers ain't doing it. How much they paying?
Hey, man, he wants to live on the waters of Minnetonka.
Gotta go hang out with Prince. Craig. That's awesome, Steve. I didn't remember. That's the thing, man. Some of these shows, you just got to give them a nice little send off. It's like Craig went off in the sunset. I like that. It just didn't get canceled.
Yeah, this is a respectful send off, too. Also in 1997, Sprung premieres. 2 friend pairs meet at a party. Clyde deceives Adina about his wealth and seduces her. Upon discovering his lie, she becomes his enemy. As Montel and Brandy plan marriage, Adina and Clyde try to prevent it. Directed by Rusty Cundiff, starring Rusty Cundiff, Tisha Campbell, Paula Jai Parker, and Joe Torre.
Joe Torre. What's his name in this? Clyde?
Clyde.
He's wild.
Nobody names their kid Clyde anymore. Like, you go.
That's a dead name, Steve. That's an old name. You got to wait 100 years before that comes back around. That's like Doris.
Or Mildred.
You ever meet a kid named Doris? It's sad.
Yeah, Esther.
Ina. All my grandparents had like just like 1800s names.
Defunct.
Yeah, it's no, you can't let a kid walk around named Dolores or something like that. It just looks right. It sounds wrong now.
Yeah, all those names are in Toys R Us stores. But this movie, man, it was kind of like a booty call on a tighter budget.
I was going to say, I mean, if I'm watching a movie like this, I'd go to Boomerang first. I like Booty Call. You're not a fan.
Yeah.
But it's got Tisha Campbell, Steve, and she's looking so fine in this.
with her little titties.
You got to look at that shelf, though, Steve. She got them thick thighs. Shut up. What's up, Tisha? Don't listen to Steve. He's mad.
I wouldn't kick her and her little titties out of bed. I, never said that. But Paula Jai Parker, she always plays like a ratchet character, but she is fine underneath all that. And she's a resident of Cleveland, Ohio. Ohio.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
That's Craig's girlfriend from the first Friday. Who is that bitch?
Who is that bitch? Isn't our boy Clarence Williams III in this too?
Clarence Williams III and John Witherspoon. Now, touch on your dick and rub it. Act like you're enjoying it. Rub on your dick. Rub on it like this. In a circular motion, rub on your dick.
Bitch, you know you want these nuts. I like the guy who has the elephant underwear, though, Steve. Just ready to go.
The elephant show.
Yeah, I mean,
Skin him a rinky dinky doo. Skin him a rinky doo.
get out of here, Sinbad.
Rub on your dick.
Oh, yes, the dick.
Dude, Joe Torre pulls up booty butt ass naked, and Clarence Williams comes out the house with a shotgun.
But yeah, I mean, it's fun, but there's better movies of this. But if it comes on, check it out. It's fun.
Rusty Cundiff, the star of the show, I forgot he was the director of the Tales from the Hood series.
Yeah, but wasn't he the teacher in the David Allen Greer
He was, yep.
portion? Yeah.
Look at you with the deep dive.
Damn, I pulled that one out of the farthest of nether regions, Steve. But yeah, which is to me is ultimate bona fides right there. That's a really cool credit. And I like that he brought back some of that talent for this too, Steve. He brought back Clarence Williams. He had to have
yes. Oh yes.
Ah yes, I'm sprung.
You want to fuck my daughter? You want the puss? Oh yes. You're gonna get the puss.
You're gonna be really deep in the puss.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, man, but yeah, dude, freaky nasty. I like the little scene with Joe Torre and Paula Jai Parker. Like, man, they were doing it every kind of style, doggy style, froggy style.
The motherfucker was sweating too. I mean, and I respect that.
Bro, she was on top, had his legs like kinked up, man.
Just sucking the moisture out of him, Steve. Bringing him out like a rag, honestly, which I'm
That's different. I'm trying to see what that be like.
Why didn't you call me?
Yeah. Sprung. But that following year, 1998, NBC is airing the final episode of Seinfeld, the finale, season 9, episode 22, man. After George and Jerry land a production deal with NBC, the four head out for Paris on NBC's private plane and are waylaid in a small Massachusetts town.
Hilarity ensues. And it does, Steve.
It totally does.
It's here. Everyone's waiting. This was like a Super Bowl level event at the time.
Yeah, I mean, $1 million for a commercial. So yeah, Super Bowl numbers.
I mean, it has to be one of the most watched, if not the most. I don't know. I mean, Cheers was for a while. Then it was
MASH.
MASH still?
I think MASH is still number one. This was in the top 5 of finales, though, for sure.
I remember people kind of being disappointed in this. But for me, as somebody who wasn't as into Seinfeld and kind of was like getting to know it through the show, I kind of thought this was a dope way to end the show, honestly. You get all these callbacks to past characters and stuff. And I mean, I don't know. I thought it was kind of fun, honestly. I thought it was great.
I feel like this is a way to end a show. Like when you bring out like all the cameos, the characters from the past, like some of the main ones. I feel like they could have brought back Bryan Cranston, the dentist. That would have been cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I think it was cool. Like they kind of had a clip show because they had so many cameos, but then you got a clip show, I think, before this episode came out.
Yeah.
It's actually 2 episodes of TV, I think, but it's syndicated into 1 hour long, I guess, which is how I ingested it.
Yeah, when it's syndicated, they break it down first half and then second half. And I think a part of the big uproar was that there was some morality in this episode, and Seinfeld fans don't want morality. These are supposed to be like immoral people. These are like horrible human beings you don't want to be friends with in real life.
Well, I feel like they really leaned into that, though. It's just unfortunately that was illegal and where they were at. So,
But they don't even like that though. That's what I'm saying. Like they don't want like Seinfeld fans don't want moral anything. This not even call attention. It doesn't exist in this universe.
well, definitely for these characters at least.
In this episode,
And we have plenty of proof of that by the time that this is over with. We start off with a familiar stand-up bit. And Jerry's kind of talking about, why do all meetings? You got to sit down. It's always about sitting down.
Let's call you for a sit down.
Why not go lower? Let's lay down. That's what it takes, Steve. That's comedy gold right there, Steve, in the 90s.
And they did away with the stand-up bits by this last season. I want to say the season before too, but since it's the last episode, they got to throw the kitchen sink at us.
Martin had to get rid of the bits in the DJ booth, Steve. So you got to fill it with the actual show. But yeah, you're right. I mean, we get it at the beginning and end of this episode. I like the end one more than the beginning, but we cut to the diner. George and Jerry having some lunch. George, as always, just perturbed with life. The waitress is ignoring him. I've been here before where you're like, I just need a drink. Like, can I get a damn refill? In this case, he wants some ketchup. The waitress is ignoring him. He's getting madder in his Costanza way. And I love that he even asked the people near them, hey, can I borrow your ketchup? And they have like this weird, almost robotic conversation between themselves. They're like, honey, should I give him the ketchup? And then just decide to not give him which is wild, Steve. That's pretty crazy, to be honest with you.
It's bad enough the one chick looks gross to begin with, but you can't be hideous and have a bad attitude. Like, what are we doing? Pick a struggle. And George goes back to being pissed off even more, and he's on 10, Matt. He's also complaining about not ever getting his 15 minutes in life, his 15 minutes of fame. I'm so sick of this. Jerry says, you still got your health. I don't care about health. I'm sick of health. I want my 15 minutes.
Everything sucks, Steve. Everything's lackluster to George Costanza, and I get it.
It'd be like
that. I felt like that. Jerry's just trying to be positive, though. He's like, let's go see a movie. And George is like, I'm sick of movies. I saw a movie already. And Jerry's like, not this movie. He's like, yeah, but they're all the same. Eat some popcorn, watch something for an hour. It's all the same. He's nosediving on 10 right now.
And the fugly lady sitting behind him passes him the ketchup bottle, and it's all empty now.
I'd chuck that thing right back at him, Steve, to be honest with you. That's rude.
Yeah, the hand coming out of her head might catch it. Now they're walking home. As they're walking home, Kramer pulls up, dropping Elaine off. Kramer wants to go to the beach. It's a nice day they're having.
Just some in the air. Some in the air. He just keeps saying that. It's like, do you take acid, dude? That's Kramer. And Elaine, as she's like waiting there, she realizes that she forgot to call her friend Jill, whose father I think is in the hospital. So she calls her on the cell phone. Very choppy connection. So she just kind of like is like, I gotta call you back. And then once she's off the phone, Jerry and George are like, dude, you called your friend on the cell phone? Which now this is a hilarious, stupid conversation, but they're like, that's pretty wild. That's a huge faux pas. And she's like, wait, what? And they explain to her why it was rude, why she's a bad person, and just really kind of lay into her for calling her friend on a cell phone on the street, no less, Steve. That's a double. It's double bad.
In the streets, man. And now we're at Jerry's. George needs to use the restroom, but he's got the door wide open. He's like, what are you doing? I think you got this relationship all wrong. You just can't have the door open. This is like not a pee party.
I don't want to see that. By the way, you need to drink more water. It's very yellow. But George closes the door, and as Jerry's in the living room by himself, phone goes off. It's NBC, Steve.
They leave a voice message. They said that they're representing NBC, and then he calls them back. And it's James Kimbrough's assistant. He's the new president of NBC, and he wants to talk to them about his show that he was trying to pitch to him. Jerry.
Jerry? Jerry.
And they want to talk right now.
Yeah. George comes out. Jerry gives him the good news. George is like, can I go change? Do I look like a writer? It's like, you're not a writer.
Do I need a sports jacket?
So now we're off to NBC, Steve.
George is so ornery because now we're at the NBC office and he's like, water? Be nice to have some water here. Water?
And Jerry's like, come on, dude, just chill, man. Let's not have an incident like we did the last time we were at NBC. You kind of raised some eyebrows. But George is, again, like you said, he's been irritated all day, Steve.
If he says he doesn't want to have a show about nothing, it could be a show about anything, everything.
So they go into this guy's office, Steve, Mr. Kinrow. Who's the new president of NBC. There's 3 other suits in this office. George is just kind of laying it on thick. He's like, what's your name, bud? And he's throwing a lot of like finger guns. He's one of those guys in a meeting. Hey, I'm that guy.
They want a water cooler show, something that people in the cubicles in the office can talk about. Why do they call it a water cooler show? People drink coffee. Well, they can't call it a coffee machine show.
It's a little more accurate, though. George is very into semantics, but Kinrow, he doesn't care what you call it. He just wants people talking about it, and he's all in on Jerry. Which, I mean, that's music to Jerry and George's ears, Steve.
He saw the pilot and flipped out. He loves that Kramer guy. He's crazy. And that Elaine. I see something between you two.
George is like, I don't see it. Kinrow's like, well, how about we don't make the show? And George just goes, actually, you know what? That's crazy. Actually, I do see it. It's great.
I totally see it now.
Yeah.
They come out of that office feeling giddy. So we got to Elaine. She calls Jill back. While she's talking to Jill, Jerry calls on the other line. She gets to Jerry, and he's like, it's an emergency, Elaine. So she hangs up with Jill, tells her she called her back. And Jerry tells her, me and George are moving to California. I thought you said this was an emergency. I don't give a fuck. I'm talking to Jill. Well, you should have said something.
You could have called me back. So now she's in the hole right now on this faux pas stuff with Jill. Cut to Jerry's mom and dad in Florida. Jerry's calling them to give them the good news. Morty's not impressed, other than the fact that he's now possibly close to being in contact with Xena Warrior Princess. And he keeps just talking about Xena Warrior. He's like, you know she's 6'5"?
Yeah. No, she's not. And then we cut to George's parents. His dad, he's pleased, man. He's proud of his son. I told you this guy's going places. You know how to write?
I never saw you write anything. Plus, that show sounds dumb. God damn, Mom. I'm going to Cali, though. Cut to Jerry's. Kramer comes back to the beach, and he's got water on the ears, Steve. This is a real operation scenario, and he can't really pay attention, but Jerry's giving him all this good news. They're going to Cali. They got this new gig, and all Kramer can think about is he's like, well, dude, what if you don't come back? It's kind of sweet in a way, Steve. He's worried his buddies are going to come back because he's like, look, man, you go to LA, nobody comes back. It's a temptress.
It's a whore, a siren.
But Jerry, good news with this new gig, they got access to NBC's PJ, Steve, that private jet action, and they can go anywhere they want. That's part of the deal. So we cut to the diner. And now this is where he lays it on him. He's like, we got a trip. All we got to do as 4 people, 4 friends, is just agree on a place to go. You know, that's not going to happen, Steve.
Well, how did you pull that off? Well, maybe they wanted to make it up to us for having this sitting on the shelf for 5 years. You know what? Let's go to Japan. I don't know about that. How about let's go to Russia? It's so bleak in Russia. Not in the springtime. It's always bleak in Russia.
If you're bleak, you're bleak. Okay.
Facts. What about Switzerland?
Yeah, Switzerland, Steve. Kind of hilly, though, isn't it? And then now George and Elaine getting a little funny thing where she's like, are you going to walk someplace? And George gets pissed off. He's like, what if I do want to walk? She's like, okay, well, you can walk downhill and we'll pick you up when you get down to the bottom. She throws little Don Rickles at him. So they're not going to Switzerland. And Jerry's like, look, guys, this is crazy. We're never going to agree. So let's just go to Paris. I think we can all agree on that. That's the one place. And they're all in, Steve. Gay Billy.
And then we call back to Jerry's. Elaine asks, "Can I call from the plane?" Because she still needs to talk to Jill about her ill dad.
No, a plane call? That's worse than a cell call. Where can you call a lady, Steve?
There's a lot of faux pas. Now, Newman, he shows up and he heard the news about the private jet ride. He tells Jerry, "I'm 1/4 French, and I have a cousin who lost control of her muscles. She just blinks, Jerry. Take me. Take me with you."
Jerry's like, be a man. And then, I mean, he flat out refuses. And Newman puts like a thinner curse on him where it goes like full Lord of the Rings. Where he's like, you will grovel at my feet while your sinow and bones burn, Jerry. I will laugh. But Jerry's gone and went on a private jet. He could give a shit. He's like, get out of here, fatty.
"In all my glory, I will see as your world is crumbling down." And now they're aboarding the plane. George is just not impressed. He's just being a B, being a big B this whole episode. This is it?
I thought it would be nicer than this. They're like, it's a private jet, George. Shut up. And he's like, it's a private jet. You think they give Ted Danson this thing? It's the one they give Ted Danson? There's no way.
Yeah. He's not even with the network.
Network anymore.
Well,
Probably
This-
the reason why, honestly, the shoddy jet.
yeah, they gave him a better one when he was with the network. He's turned around on his seat talking to Jerry and Elaine, and she's like, "Dude, turn around. You're annoying me." And by the way, that look is very effeminate. The way you're sitting.
That's a tough insult, Elaine. That's tough. He's like effeminate. And even Jerry's like, you're doggy style right now, bro. But he gets in his feelings. And just the overall vibe on the plane's not great. And then to make matters worse, Kramer's got that water on his ear and he starts spazzing out to the point where he just pulls a Kramer, falls through the cockpit door, and I don't know what, he maybe lands on the control panel, but basically initiates complete failure of the plane, Steve. They're going down.
And I've said this before on the show. He is always the friend that gets them in a worse spot than how the episode starts. And the characterizations in this episode, like everybody is like fully developed at this point, and they're showing you one last hurrah of who they are, who they are personified to be. And this is like the grand example of that.
All of them. You're right, though. That's straight up. They're at 100%. Elaine's doing her thing. Jerry's doing George. He's at 1,000% this episode, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
But they're going down, Steve. And like everyone's like, is this it? They think they're gonna die. So now it's honesty time, Steve. George tells Jerry he cheated in the contest. And Jerry's like, you cheated? Why? And he's like, because I'm a cheater.
Because I'm a cheater.
Elaine admits to Jerry she's always pause, ... And then as she's about to say whatever she's about to say, plane straightens out, Steve. Crisis averted.
Never mind. They land in Latham, Massachusetts.
It's a little sleepy little Massachusetts town, Steve. And the pilot's pretty blasé about it. He's like, look, man, we're here. Sorry about that. We're going to fix this plane up real quick. You guys go get a bite to eat. I got your beeper number. I'll give you a call once the plane's fixed. I'd be like, the fuck? And honestly, that's what they're debating when we cut to like them walking around in the town. They're like, are we going to get on this plane? I'd be like, no, we're not going to get on this plane. Unless Kramer's not on this plane.
The worst kind of friend to have. Well, you tell Kenro to get us another plane, and a better one, the Ted Danson plane.
I want the Ted Danson plane. And as they're talking about this, they're also debating, like Jerry, they're trying to figure out what to do. George does want to fly on the plane. Jerry's like, let's just get like a regular plane, whatever. But he's like, let's go talk about it over lunch. We ain't got our regular diner. Let's find a place to eat. And as they're turning around, this fat guy, who I think is John Panette, the stand-up comedian, if I'm not mistaken, he's getting carjacked, Steve. I guess it's a sleepy town, but this thief does not give a shit. He's just doing a carjacking in full view. And the gang is just kind of taking it all in. Steve Kramer's even doing what we would do now and just filming it.
World star.
Yeah, on his little camcorder. They're throwing a couple of fat jokes at him, a couple of food-related jokes. The guy's heavy. Just not a good look. So they're like, all right, let's go. Like, they don't help him at all.
Yeah.
Dick move. And as they're turning around, this cop shows up and is like, hey, you're under arrest. And they're like, what? And turns out, Steve, they broke the law. There's a new law in effect, Good Samaritan law, where if you don't help somebody in need, you go into jail.
Apparently that's a real law.
And I feel like that's a flimsy. I'd love to see how you get actually, I have anxiety. You're off. I just thought of the best defense possible, Steve. They broke the law, Steve. So instead of a guy getting arrested for a carjacking in broad daylight, for innocent but not innocent bystanders are being arrested. So cut to the police station and they're locked up, Steve. It was quick work.
And they questioned this Good Samaritan law, and apparently it was just passed. Penalties are up to $85,000 and up to 5 years in prison just for not doing shit.
Yeah, and the guy's like, this isn't just a fine thing, so you better call a good lawyer because they're lawyering up here. And as he says that, we cut to a lawyer's office, and it's none other than Jackie Childs.
Did I tell you put cheese on this sandwich? Cheese.
What? Good Samaritan law? Never heard of it.
You don't have to help nobody.
And then we cut to the DA office in Latham, and they find out Jackie Childs is on the case. This is a big city lawyer, Steve, coming to town. So the DA's like, we can't have all this fame coming here making us look bad. So we're going to have press here. You're going to look into everything we can about these people. Everything. We're going to really dig up some dirt. And there's plenty of dirt to be dug, Steve.
The big thing in this trial is going to be character. 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 Character.
Forever.
We cut back to the prison, and now George is perturbed about the bailiff. What do they call them? Correctional officers?
Could be looking at us. It's basically the same argument he had with the waitress. He's like, they're just ignoring us. I could use a little catch-up right now.
Would it hurt for him to check up on us? As he's saying that, Jerry gets a beep on his pager telling him the plane's ready.
Great. Then we cut to a TV show, Steve. Geraldo Rivera Live. They've made Geraldo, Steve. And they're now known as the New York Four. There's just a lot of hot goss happening right now. This is Geraldo, CNN or whatnot, but they're already talking about whether or not he's about to shack up with Elaine, Steve. Yeah, and I like that they're in jail, like it's intersex. I love that too,
I guess they do that in these Mayberry towns. And we cut back to Jerry's parents, and the mom, she's packing a suitcase full of cereal.
I need to bring it for my boy. This is my mom, Steve. My mom's Mrs. Seinfeld. She used to give me Special K all the time. But that's what he wanted, Steve. Morty, he doesn't need anything. He just wants to meet Xena, honestly.
Now we cut to Costanza's peeps. The mom's like, did we do something wrong?
Yes, smothered him.
He couldn't breathe. No air.
And then we cut to Newman, who's just loving it, Steve. This is his heaven. He's laughing, he's packing, he's ready to go. He's going to show up.
And we cut to Uncle Leo. He's getting ready. We cut to Putty. He's coming out with the 8-ball jacket. Then we cut to the little man, Kramer's little homie. We cut to Banya. He's coming. Susan's parents, they're going to be there. Keith Hernandez, New York Met great. And then Steinbrenner.
The Soup Nazi.
Soup Nazi.
They're all showing up. And then we cut to court. Jerry and Kramer just settling down to a couple bowls of that cereal his mom brought. But Jerry's like, I've had to adjust the milk level with my cereal recently. It's a tough change. And that is a tough change as an adult, Steve. I used to be overflowing.
Heavy on the milk. Now that you have to pay for it, it's like, I got to conserve the milk.
I'm more like Craig's dad with milk now. I'm like, just put some water on it.
Have you ever resorted to that?
Oh, yeah, Steve. In L.A., I've ate a lot of little drop of almond milk and a heavy dose of water, Steve. It'll get you through.
It'll do something.
It'll get you A to B.
Jackie, he shows up and he wanted George to wear that cardigan.
I want a Perry Cuomo, not this.
You think this is game?
How do I look, Jackie? You look good.
You want fine, sexy lady.
I also like Kramer's like, how do I look, Jackie? He's like, Kramer, you look good. Look honest. Like you got purpose.
You always do good for yourself.
Respectable. So we cut to actual court. Judge walks in, and it's the Honorable Judge Vandalay, Steve. So George is like, dude, the judge's name Vandalay? This has got to be a good sign, right?
Arthur Vandalay. Wait, what?
And then we're into like opening statements if we're using legalese here. And the DA's pointing out, this is a little town jury. He's like, these big city New Yorkers coming in here, mocked a victim, didn't help him. And I'm here to tell you there's a history of this. These people are serial not helpers. They're selfish, they're self-absorbed, they're immature, they're greedy. These people are scum. And that's the basis of the case.
Each of these cases, each of these people were done wrong, betrayed, and deceived. We cut to Newman. He's got a big box of popcorn.
Are you allowed to like do this though? Like, can you just be in there like it's a movie?
You cannot bring food in.
Yeah.
Jackie makes his opening statement. I am shocked and chagrined.
There's a real perpetrator out there walking around free. We got 4 people in here, did nothing. These people are innocent bystanders. You ever hear a guilty bystander? Hell no.
They want to create this whole new animal, the guilty bystander. The first witness is Matt Vogel. He was the officer on the scene. And he even tells the judge one of them had a video camera. They play the video, and as British Bulldog would say, they're fooled.
It's not good. It's not a good look. It's a video of the robbery, which is helpful if you want to convict the actual thief. But it's really what's being said as the Mystery Science Theater commentary that you hear on the video, because it's like, oh, wow, there goes the food money. It's a lot of like just shitty fat jokes, which really hurts, Steve. As a former fat person, that's gotta hurt.
And again, Kramer messing up the church's money. He's the one with the incriminating evidence. Not only did you get us to this point, you're making it worse.
That's the bloody glove, Steve. But they
Yeah.
do have Jackie Child, so there's always a chance here. But then we cut to the second witness, who's the carjacking victim. Again, I think it's John Panette. And he's just like, yeah, they didn't do anything. They just sat there and laughed at me and called me fat. I was getting robbed. So that's not a great look, Steve. They're definitely not coming across as good Samaritans at this point.
And even the NBC execs show up. George turns around and is like, you gave us that shitty plane.
Order in the court. And then a woman named Mabel Schultz shows up, Steve. This is an elderly lady who the DA brought in as a character witness just to prove how bad Jerry is. And she basically tells the court about the time that Jerry physically accosted her for some marble rye bread, Steve. He had to have it.
Yeah, he's a bread jacker.
Give me that marble rye. I love that, Steve. It's like a purse snatch. See, he's lucky Raphael didn't come and give him a 1-2.
He told her to shut up, you old bag. And then the next witness is Marla Penny, the virgin. She's very familiar, Matt.
Daphne from Frasier. I dated Jerry for several weeks in 92. They're like, well, how did it end? And she said it ended because she became aware of a contest that they were engaged in. And he's like, what kind of a contest? Oh, it was a contest to see who could go the longest without gratifying themselves. And the court is disgusted, Steve. A jack contest? That's lowbrow.
The next witness that comes out is Donald Sanger. Like, who's that? The Bubble Boy.
And so he gets on there and tells about the time that he was supposed to meet Jerry. But then George and Susan showed up, which is disappointing enough. But then in the middle of a very heated Trivial Pursuit game, the answer to the question was the Moors. But there was a misprint on George's card, and he gets really smarmy and is like, sorry, moops. And the Bubble Boy cannot handle this. The moops didn't exist. He's got angry, and in the midst of their little tussle, George popped the bubble, and it's another example that these people suck.
He deflated the bubble boy. We cut to another lady. She's handicapped. The time where Kramer gave her a used wheelchair that was faulty, and she basically like damn near kills herself sliding down the hill.
She's like that Paul Rudd meme where it's the from Meatballs and the wheelchair kid goes off the cliff. It was a deep cut, Steven. You might not understand that. But then we cut to a doctor. It's a doctor who was on duty when Susan died. And he's there. The DA's like, so what was George's reaction when he found out his fiancée had died? And the doctor's like, it can only be described as almost jubilant. And even Susan's parents are in the court, so they stand up, pull a Ron Goldman's dad, and are like, you're a murderer!
You killed my daughter.
You knew those envelopes were toxic. You might have, Steve.
I can't remember who it was, but Philip Baker Hall is one of the characters. He plays one of the characters in this episode, and that's the same guy from Boogie Nights. Butter in their ass. Lollipop.
Yeah.
He's the lieutenant.
He's Joe Bookman, the
Joe
library cop. I
that's
chase
right.
down library delinquents, and I like butter in my ass.
He's also from Toledo.
Damn, that's dope. Rest in peace, I'm assuming, Joe Bookman. But
Yeah.
he's there to tell the court about how Jerry had a 25-year overdue book at the library, which that's borderline you get arrested type stuff, Steve. You're going to receive some sort of a lawsuit at that point. And we did jump over Sidra Holland, a.k.a. Terry Hatcher, a.k.a. the chick with the natties. And basically, she's there because, I mean, she could say something bad about Jerry, but she tells the story about how Jerry convinced Elaine to go into a spa, trip and fall and grab her tits to see if they were real, Steve. Billy Madison style.
You dated her?
That's assault, brother. Jackie Chow really into that.
They cut to George's, one of his ex, and she's played by Melanie Chardoff, who is Principal Russo from Parker Lewis, and she's also the voice of the Pickles mom on Rugrats.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's a cool credit. Well, she's there to talk about the time that she brought George to one of her kids' birthday parties, but when there was a possible fire issue, instead of help everybody get out, including the old ladies and kids, George just barrels over everybody in a panic and knocks over what I can only assume was her mother, who had a walker. So,
Yeah.
it's not looking great. And then we cut to a shopping mall security guard who's from an episode we featured where Jerry and them were stuck in a parking garage, and he caught Jerry peeing in public. And Jerry went through a whole excuse about lying about some kind of disease he had or something that can happen if you hold your pee, I think.
Then the next witness is the cop that arrested Kramer when he received a tip that prostitutes were turning tricks in the parking lot. And they catch Kramer red-handed, full-on pimp suit.
Yeah, super flied out, Steve. I mean, why was he dressed like a pimp? I didn't see that episode.
The next one is the lady with the puffy shirt. She asked Jerry to wear it for her on the Carson show.
But she's a low talker, Steve, and nobody can hear her. And then Jackie Child's like, man, this is chagrin. This is proselytizing. Nobody can hear this woman.
Sure.
Yeah,
She's a low talker.
Yeah. And then Steinbrenner comes in. Steve, this is a celebrity right now. This is the owner of the Yankees. He talks about George and some steak or something they had, some sandwich. Wasn't that a good sandwich, Georgie?
Yeah. He knows the hell of a sandwich, but he was a communist.
So George is a commie, Steve.
But you gave $2 million to Hideki.
And then there's just like a montage of allegations, cockfighting, sex sponges, exposed nipples, and a possible attempted murder. It's all kinds of stuff that's just piling up. And then they call Yev Kasem, and everyone's like, who the fuck is that? And they look back, and Jerry's like, oh, shit, dude, it's a soup Nazi. who I was like, who is he going to testify against? But basically, he's there to testify against all of them. Really, it's against Elaine because didn't she just release his recipes or something like that?
Yeah, she had the upper hand by the in the episode because he banned her for a year, but then one day she came back. She published my recipe. So I closed the store and moved to Argentina. I found it funny when the bailiff asked, "Can you spell that for me, Yev Kasim?" No.
And then Babu Bhat shows up, and this is a man who whole life ruined by these people. He had a
They
restaurant,
fucked him over, dude.
and then when he lost his restaurant because they gave him bad advice, they offered to help him find a new place, which they did. But in doing that, he lost his green card because he didn't get the mail to renew it. So he got deported to Pakistan, Steve. So he's come back and he's pissed, Steve. These are very, very, very bad people. He's pissed.
Yeah, rightfully so. They screwed him. They cut back to Geraldo and his Ron Goldman Sr. mustache, and the arguments have ended. It's very incriminating.
Everyone's reeling from the parade of witnesses that have come to testify. And then cut to jury deliberation. I'd be freaking out. Jerry's like, I wonder what we're going to wear in prison. Kramer's not sweating it. He's like, dude, we got Jackie Childs, man. This is a New York City lawyer. We're not going to lose. He never loses.
He asked that cop if a black man's ever been to his house. You see the look on his eyes?
And then we cut to the judge chambers. He's just going over evidence, and George's mom shows up. And she's like, be kind to my boy. And he's like, this is very irregular. This isn't right. And she's like, I just want to do something to help you out. I mean, she's really fishing to see if she could throw a little jack on this dude, Steve. Really drill down on him a little bit for her son.
What do you mean? Well, you know.
Forrest Gump style, Steve. Your
mama sure do care about your learning. Like, as they're waiting for the
verdict.
Yeah, thank you. As they're waiting for the verdict, they show vignettes of everybody. Like, there's little man playing pool. I think Susan's dad, he goes to buy a gun.
Newman's eating, obviously.
Sleeping in his car.
The soup Nazis giving people soup. It's everybody, Steve. They're all on pins and needles right now. Or noodles. Whatever. Oh. Verdict's coming in, and Jerry asks Elaine before, everything gets started. He's like, what were you going to say to me on the plane? She's like, I was going to say I always loved United Airlines.
Before that, we see Jackie. He's making love to Terry Hatcher.
Yeah, this jury could be out for days. We got time. I love Jackie Childs, Steve. So does Terry Hatcher.
Clearly. The judge comes out and they've reached a verdict. Juror lady, she comes up to tell them they find the defendants guilty
of criminal indifference, Steve. So basically, the judge is like, look, he kind of goes hard in this because they just didn't help a guy. And he's like, their callous indifference and utter disregard for all things decent has rocked the very foundation on which this society has been built. I think that's a stretch, Judge.
Yeah.
Dang. But he's like, I'm giving you all a year in jail. That's plenty of time to think about this. So they're going away for a year. Elaine turns around, looks at Putty, and is like, Putty, don't wait for me. And Putty's like, okay, whatever.
All right.
And Jerry's like, oh, you ain't that bad. And Kramer's kind of stoked. They could put on a show. They could, do whatever. Elaine's not. She's like, blow it out your ass, dude.
But Jackie, he leaves with Terry Hatcher, and Jerry's like, what the fuck? Oh, and by the way, they're real, and they're spectacular.
Jackie Childs getting that pussy. And Elaine's now fully over it. She's like, do you think I could call Jill from prison? Like, do you think that's actually would make up for all these faux pas? And he was like, actually, I think it would. And, the logic makes sense. You get one call from jail, Steve. You make it to your friend just to check in on her unhealthy father. That feels pretty great, I feel like. That's a concern.
It's like the king of calls. Kramer, he hops back up and he's trying to get that water out of his ear. The water eventually comes out and he's just feeling like a new person.
We basically are sitting in a cell, Steve, and we're slowly pulling away. And after Kramer's like, it's the best day of my life. I got that water out of my ear. Jerry like looks at George, who has that cardigan on. He's like, that's got to be the worst button placement of all time.
The second button is the key button. It's no man's land. Did we have this conversation before? No. Wait, you sure? The whole purpose of that was a conversation from the pilot episode.
Oh, dang. Okay. I love that. Callback. And then we get a final ending in the credits. It's a one last stand up routine, except now Jerry's doing a Johnny Cash style, Steve. He's live from Folsom and he's going in. Cell Block D, they get one. What are you in for? Murder one. Oh, murder one. Ooh.
What are you in for? Grand Theft Auto. Oh, don't steal my jokes. I'm going to cut you. Hey, hey, I don't go to where you work and knock the license plate out of your hand.
It's great. And I like this finale, Steve. This has been a show I've been telling my wife and I are going to rewatch the whole thing, but I would like to come to it. Everything we've watched has been a banger. This, I feel like, had people in their feels and thoughts when it came out, and it wasn't like that popular, but I thought it was great.
Yeah, man. Classic show. And if you do make it through that Seinfeld marathon, man, keep me updated. Matter of fact, like keep the folks, our viewers, our listeners updated with your new findings of this show.
I
Your
will.
newfound love and appreciation.
I will give my dissertation.
On that same day in 98, Celebrity Deathmatch premieres on MTV. Celebrities duel it out in a wrestling ring, and the first one who dies loses. 6 seasons, 93 episodes.
I mean, it was kind of like a jokey thing, but I always dug this.
Oh, yeah, man. It was current. Like, whoever was popping at the time, they got a Celebrity Deathmatch episode. Marilyn Manson, Tom Green, Metallica.
Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC at one point.
Yeah.
Also, Stone Cold Steve Austin was like a character on there. They like eventually had him come on as like a recurring character in the movie or in the show. Mills Lane, they had him in it, which I think he kind of got famous on it.
Let's get it on.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. I love this. One thing I didn't know about this that made it cooler to me, because we talked about it and I love it. Guy who made this made The Head, that anime show with the alien and that shit. I feel like this got popular, became more than a joke, and then I feel like they brought it back. Like after it got canceled, I think they kept bringing it back because I mean, obviously you can keep doing this. It's probably gotten easier. Love claymation, Steve. Also, remember that video game that was like Street Fighter with clay? It was like clay fighters. Remember
I do.
Hell, yeah. Claymation, love it.
Man. This was back when MTV was cool, man. You know somebody who probably didn't watch this finale of Seinfeld or Celebrity Deathmatch when it premiered on MTV, Matthew? Probably one of the coolest people ever, the chairman of the board, old Blue Eyes himself, Frank Sinatra, at the age of 82.
It's the king, Steve, not the king.
He's the king of something. And just like you with Seinfeld, this is a guy I didn't appreciate until I was much older. Like, man, this dude he was a G.
He's the chairman of the board, Steve. He's cool as hell.
Yeah.
Phil Hartman's impression of him was one of the greatest, too. He became like more than himself as well. But, dude, Frank Sinatra, I mean, this guy's like a saint to Italian people.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you hear. I dig Sinatra, man. I wish I could be that cool. He was like the coolest dude in the world for a decade.
Definitely one of the coolest people of all time, man. And the Rat Pack, I said this before, they were the Get Pussy crew of like that era.
Bring that bush over here, sweetie.
Strangers in the night. R.I.P. to Allege. What are the callbacks for this week?
Well, Steve, I'm just here to report on a 90s product that was brought back, Mortal Kombat. Just recently saw the new one. It's nothing, Steve. It's terrible. It's an abomination. Mortal Kombat. If you're gonna watch a movie, watch the '90s one because it's fantastic.
Yeah, I still want to watch it.
You're gonna watch it, and you know what? It's cool they brought in some characters that you want to see, but I'm an old man, Steve. I like my Liu Kang, that guy from Jungle Book, and I like my Johnny Cage from the '90s, and I like my Shang Tsung, that guy.
Yeah, he just passed recently too.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, but so it was disappointing, but still going on positive. Hopefully, the Street Fighter movie we're gonna get that they're gonna release later this year is gonna be better. It looks more fun. But yeah, I was a little disappointed. So that's my callback. Just a little sad Matt didn't
And
get his '90s rocks off the way he wanted to, Steve.
all I got, man, is in 1990, Designing Women is airing Anthony's Graduation. And Anthony gets shot by Delta Burke because she thinks it's a burglar. Like Anthony, I guess he forgot something. So he comes into the house and the lights are off and she pulls out that goddamn it on him, pops a cap in his ass. But by the end, he's healed enough to like go to his graduation ceremony.
That graduation gift better be nice if you just shot my ass.
Yeah.
That's tough. Designing Women, though, so we got to get back there. You got to see Delta back, Delta Burke, them big DDs.
Big Southern Belle Nats. But and also, man, we just had an interview release with our new friend Splat Attack. It's available now. Check those guys out. The interview is out, and we had a great time talking about Alex Mack, Secret World of Alex Mack, and Pete. It was a versus episode, man. So please check that out, as well as the rest of their catalog. And please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister that I'm a hustler. HUSTLER, hustler. Check out Food Show Fanatics as well as Crushgasm, our guy Clark the Shark on Podcastle, and Wrestling with Ronzilla on TikTok. This is Steve G and Matt G with
Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the black kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s. Yeah!